Hello everybody, how are you? I hope all of you is still safe. Stay healthy until the fierce corona is gone from this world. Okay, at this time I will analyze a poem entitled I Know Where the Caged Bird Sings. This poem is from civil rights movement poet. Her name is Maya Angelou. Okay, let's begin to hear my analysis for I Know Where the Caged Bird Sings poem. I Know Where the Caged Bird Sings talks about the situation of the African-American people during the civil rights movement 1965 until 1969. At the time, the African people lived in America were still treated unfairly by some of the white men, even though they had gotten their freedom since the ratification of the 13th Amendment on December 6, 1865. I Know Where the Caged Bird Sings is a poem that talks about two birds who have different lives. The first bird is a free bird that has a beautiful life, such as flying to many places as it pleases, having hopes to stay alive, and claiming the sky as its place because nobody can disturb the bird. Furthermore, the free bird has many prospects in life, such as thinking of another breeze to keep on getting everything for its life instead declaring the sky as its own. The free bird in this poem is the first metaphor. This bird compares to a white man who lives in America. Life in America for these people is a free bird, free life. For they could get everything that they wanted, such as the land, the business, and the African people that used to be their slave. On the other hand, the second bird is a caged bird. This bird cannot live freely because it is imprisoned in a lonely cage with its small life. Although the free bird lives in a small and horrible cage, it keeps singing. The second bird cannot do anything freely except singing, but it has the desire to be free from the cage. Maya Angelou described the life of that bird in the second stanza as follows: but a bird that stalks down his narrow cage can seldom see through his bars of range. His wings are clipped and his feet are tied, so he opens his throat to sing. In lines 2 until 4 of the stanza above, Angelou describes the life of a caged bird with the words range, clip, and tie. These words describe the condition of the bird being imprisoned. Therefore, the circumstances make the bird sing a song of freedom, but nobody hears its voice even though it continuously shouts out its feeling, which is depicted in the third stanza. The second metaphor, the caged bird, is description of the life of African people. The black people in America at the time lived miserable. They were weak because they didn't get respect from the white people. They were just poor slaves who were bought with a really cheap price. Their mouth had to be shut and their hands were tied and chained. just like the caged bird. In short, Maya Angelou described the situation they had to go through in slavery by using the metaphor of a caged bird described in the second stanza of the poem, just like the caged bird singing. However, the black people in America always spoke out their voice about freedom, even when they had to go through miserable lives in slavery or in the civil rights movement. They did what the caged bird does, singing or speaking out. In line 9, there's a metaphor of narrow cage as a place that is limited and restricted, a place to keep animals or in a prison for criminals, human beings considered doing criminal acts. The narrow cage also represents a place for the slave like African people when they came in America. During the time of slavery, the African-American people couldn't live like the white people. Furthermore, the narrow cage also describes about people who have lonely life, even though these people have everything that they want. His bird of range in line 9 is another metaphor. The writer finds that the word range means the feeling of anger or violence. This word functions as a metaphor in this poem. The caged bird in this poem is angry because he cannot freely fly and had to live in the cage. As Maya Angelou said in lines 12 and 30, his wings are clipped and his feet are tied. So the caged bird can only sing in the cage to inform its listeners what it feels like to be in the small cage. This is what the black people did. They boycotted together to get their freedom from segregation, voicing their anger peacefully at the white man who still didn't give true freedom. The last metaphor is a grave of dreams. The word grave is a place of burial for human or animal dead bodies. Maya Angelou describes different ways about grave. She compares the grave with African Americans, those live in racism and segregation that made them like die in grave. However, black people had a dream to out from their sufferings and get their freedom. They shoot their voice, walk together with their leader, even many white men hate them, as portrayed in line 28. His narrow shouts on a nightmare scream. The writer also noticed that wings, sun, and sky are some symbols Angelou used to depict a situation faced by the black. The first is the symbol of wings in line 5. Wings symbolize hope and freedom. It is very important for the birds to fly in the sky and see the world. Furthermore, wings are also used to make the balance for the bird when it flies, so it can fly to many places they want. However, the caged bird described in this poem cannot use its wings because the wings of this bird are clipped. The dictionary definition of a sun in line 9 defines sun as the star that shines in the sky and gives the earth heat and light. It's from Oxford. With the following example, the sun was shining and birds were singing. In this poem, the word "sons" describe how white people as the free birds get everything that they want in America, and they still have hope of life in their lives. Unlike the African-American people who never see the sun from their imprisonment or their narrow cage, line 7 of the poem contains one interesting symbol, that is the sky, which has one literal meaning as the space above the earth that you can see when you look up, where clouds and the sun, moon and star appear. Analyze the deeper meaning of the word sky. The writer finds that it means freedom. It is depicted through the free bird that can freely fly to see how bad and good this life is from the sky. Based on the explanation above, the theme of this poem, I Know Where the Cage Bird, is the spirit to still sing for freedom. This poem about the plight of the cage bird inspired its readers to still continue their life as human beings and never stop their struggle. With the spirit of freedom, the readers should be like the cage bird that always sings and struggles for freedom. The African American people also did the same to reach their total freedom as part of the American society. So, that's my analysis of Maya Angelou poems, focus on the use of the metaphor and symbol in her poems, entitled I Know Where the Cage Bird Sings. Thank you for the readers who listening my analysis, and thank you. And don't forget to subscribe and like if you like it, and share if you want. And thank you, and stay safe and stay healthy. Stop racism. See ya for the next time.